You know what it is. This is a Bro Media production, and this is Bro Spotlight. I'm Parlay Hunter.
Man, I'm Life of D Green, man.
Kasey Robinson.
And today, a very special guest. We got my man K-Rob in the house. Let's give it up for K-Rob. Yes. Applaud yourself, my man. Seriously, bro, we're excited to have you on. This is a networking podcast. We want to talk about how you're networking, navigating through being an artist, trying to connect with people, make business moves. We know you just did an event, a big event in Minneapolis. You want to just talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so July 21st, I held a silent art auction called Worth the King's Ransom. This was the second annual art auction that we did through my company, Triple Kings, which I'm rocking right now.
Already.
Kings.
Basically, the mission through that event is to give artists in our community a spotlight, a space to sell their work, network, and make some money while raising funds for some local nonprofits.
Man, that is so cool. Did you feel, because I know this is your second one, right?
Yeah, but in total, this is probably like my fifth silent art auction.
You see the growth in every auction, like how it gets bigger and bigger and easier.
I wouldn't say it gets easier and easier, but I think when the level increases, it increases the demand of like how you come correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with the people that you have around you, because like the more you have to do, the more you have to delegate. So that's one thing I'm trying to learn how to do in this season.
So are you trying to like find new people to help you manage?
Yeah, event management, artist management, all that kind of stuff, because it's hard doing all the back end stuff while trying to do the front end stuff at the same time.
So
go ahead, Lamar.
No, you go ahead, Dre. My bad.
No, I was gonna lead into something. K-Rob mentioned something, man. Bro, you know how I know the work that goes into everything that you're doing. And just to catch up and bring the audience kind of up to speed, lately, how I've been feeling lately, kind of what me and Parlay been talking about, how when you get busy in that rush, man, do you think it's the effort that is what's changed, or do you feel like it's just you connecting with the craft a little bit more and understanding the demand for the difference, like understanding that I got to be better than the last project or better than the last, auction,
Yeah, I think every year I definitely like raise the bar on my expectations. And so it definitely tests like how much I love doing it. It's kind of like when you go from like high school football to college football, and then from college football to pro football, for any other sport for that matter. But every level, it kind of like tests you in that way of like, all right, how much do you love what you're actually doing? You know what I'm saying?
So on that same note, is it competitive like sports?
In a way, yeah. I think more so you compete with yourself, like how Dre was saying, like, okay, last year I did it this way. I'm gonna look at that, fine tune it, and see how I can come and do better next year. So yeah, it's more of like self competition.
So no, finish up. My bad.
No, yeah, it's just like the only person I really see myself competing with is myself, because like I don't really believe in the idea of competition in this area of like what I'm doing. I look at it more as like, okay, who can I collaborate with? Who can I build with? And I try to like keep that competition idea out of my head, because there's a lot of dope people in the city, and like if you want to elevate and do bigger things, like you're gonna need people around you that have either done it or are looking to do that. And so to me, it's a collaborative effort more than anything.
Our first question for the podcast we wanted to ask you was trial and error. Is there anything that like specially like kind of sticks out to you? Like, I tried this, it didn't work, so I moved on and I did something else. And then I got some trial and error to share from my own experience.
Specifically for this event, or what do you mean?
Just like in networking in general, like when you've tried to network with people and you just feel like you didn't really get back what you tried to give in, what you know what I mean? it didn't work out. You know what I mean? You tried some, like for example, I tried to follow everybody blindly for a long time. Like I tried to basically just anybody, if they were interested in what I was interested in, I was following them, I was tagging them, I was trying to connect somehow, some way, but it ultimately was just a big waste of time because they didn't really connect with me and I was really putting in too much effort. So it was just really a waste of time. And I started to realize like, okay, there's definitely a lane for this. Like I need to connect more with my lane than just trying to be all over the place. You know what I mean? Trying to, network with people who we won't, I guess, and that maybe most people think we won't connect in any way. So, you know what I mean? Like, what's even the point? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some truth to that. I think like for me, what I've been honing in on is like, I guess I don't know what I could get out of any relationship. So like to me, I always keep an open mind and an open book on that level where it's like I don't know if I go to this networking event, I don't know how God's gonna move in that event and connect me with somebody that could be like a missing piece to what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like I think social media is way different when it comes to networking. Because for instance, like this is a really good example. A few months ago, I made a hoodie. I did like custom stitching in it and everything. And I hit up this dude in, I want to say like North Carolina or Pittsburgh or something like that out east. And he was getting like reposts on all these like male model Instagram pages and like IG fits, baller fits, and like stuff like that. And so I was like, bet, like if I reach out to him and see if he'd be down to just model this hoodie, I'll give him a free hoodie, all of that. And so I hit him up. He gave me his address. I sent it to him. I ain't never heard back from him ever since.
Yeah.
So bro just caught the free hoodie. Never posted any pics with it.
He didn't steal any money.
But
I didn't pay him nothing.
What's crazy though, K-Rod,
I've been scammed a few times.
Though.
Yeah,
I got hella scamming stories.
But even though, like, even on a deeper note of that, bro, to me that's not even. I wouldn't say yes, it's a scam in the short term of what K-Rod was trying to accomplish. But now that he got a one-on-one product, somebody gonna see it. That's how kind of I feel like how it traveled. Yeah. Like what NWA said, hey, they bought them motherfucking CDs. We don't care. Like you paid for them, so now the music gonna play, and eventually it's gonna reach somebody. Where I want to transition and kind of pivot to, bro. You've been a savvy vet. I've known you now for years. We've grown up together, and just knowing you and our model for the Triple Kings and everything, bro. What as a vet would you say is the contrast difference between the art and doing the art side of things and doing the business side of things in that realm for the art side and the clothing line?
Man, honestly, they kind of go hand in hand in some ways, but like for clothing, to me, it has more social capital rather than art. Because like, unless you're doing an event. So a good example of that, I just did, or last fall, I did a mural downtown, right? Ton of people be taking pictures with it. It even, to bring this full circle, that mural, there was like an event that the people that commissioned it basically held at the end of the mural, as for like the Orpheum show that was going on at that time. And one of the people that runs and manages the event space that I had my last art show was at that alley reveal, the mural reveal. And so I met with the event space. I was like, oh yeah, I did that mural over there, whoop-de-whoop. And he was like, what? You're the guy? You're the one that did that? And he gave us like a $3,500 discount on the event space just because he happened to know me. So like that event, that mural, like it had social capital to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't necessarily, like I didn't get paid as much as I would have liked to for that event. But then later down the road, like people heard about me, knew about me because of that project. And so I think both have their own social capital in specific ways. And I think when you're building a brand and an identity around what you're trying to do, like those things are major. But if you're just like trying to do stuff on the internet, I think that unless you just get lucky and like stuff just be blowing up, like it can only go so far in my opinion. So I think people got to like always remember how important it is to like stay in physical spaces, like promoting your product, because I don't know, every time I do like a live painting or any like booth with my clothing at it, I'm always connecting with like 5 to 10 people that end up rocking with me after that, you know? And so like the personal relationship and connection is like, it's a lot more authentic when it's in person versus like you shooting somebody a DM on social media. Like, I don't know you.
Yeah, right. That's respect in the community. You know what I mean? You're getting respect in the community. And God, what's better than that? Because I mean, that's where you live. That's where you might grow old. You know what I mean? Those are the people that might watch your kids. You know what I mean? Those are the people that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really more important than anything, I think, than being internet famous or anything like that, is really to get it in your community and get respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Likes don't equal dollars. I'm gonna just say that.
No,
facts. And those people support you more than the likes. You know what I mean? Like the online likes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Those people, you know, they see you, they physically get around you, you know, are around you. So our second question, for the podcast is when we see that like kind of has to do with networking, but you know how there's new social media apps that come around every year. Now we got Threads coming up from Instagram. You know, what are your thoughts on Threads? Do you think Threads is going to last? You think it's just going to be a fad, like a, you know, quick thing and leave?
Or is it already dead? Like, what is
it? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't have it.
I mean,
okay, well, there you go. There's your answer.
Come on,
you
gotta kind of know the facts about K-Rob before you jump into a question like that. Ilmayer, the man is a patient man.
Hey,
here's
get off my back.
Here's my thing. I think there's always gonna be a specific demographic that messes with it. Like Twitter to me has been dead since 2012, bro. Like I ain't never hopped on Twitter ever since then, because like, bro, I ain't trying to read people's thoughts all day. I don't care.
Right.
But I'm trying to look at visuals. I'm a visual person. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like to see photos. I like to see videos.
Do you have a Tumblr account?
Nah, I don't even really know what that is, to be honest.
Tumblr is like a blog. It's like with pictures. It's like a collage. It's like Tumblr. It was Pinterest. Yeah, it's like Pinterest. You got a Pinterest?
Nah, but I know what Pinterest is.
Facts. But you do got a website.
Of course.
What's the website?
Wait, which one? I got a multiple.
What's your main website where we can go cop your art?
Oh, my art. It's Kasey with a K, Robinson.visuals, or Robinson/visuals.com.
Facts.
If you just look up Kasey Robinson, it'll pop up, hopefully.
Just Google Kasey Robinson?
Yeah.
Got you. Check that out.
I got a real deep question to ask K-Rob, in respect, and you can decline it if you want, bro. You know, I know you personally, like family fam. I know RIP to your grandpa this past May, I want to believe.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah,
sir. My condolences to the family. Talked to your uncle a while back. And so I kind of want to just dive into you kind of expressing what your grandpa has meant to you as far as your business side of things, and kind of even is there have been any more added motivation to the art and kind of just reflecting and kind of your grandpa's just spirit growing through your just kind of who you are now a little bit more?
Yeah, man, it's pretty wild, like, to hear a lot of stories about him that other people shared with me, that because like my grandpa was super like a man of few words. He didn't really say a whole lot.
Well respected man. I met him maybe once, but bro, to hear like I see it now in you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but just kind of the talents and gifts that you got, bro. I see it.
Yeah, no, respect, bro. Yeah, man, he really like shaped a lot of people's lives and helped out the North Minneapolis community. Like there were some people that went to the NFL, and like it's changed their lifestyles from being like wanting to be hood dudes to wanting to be football dudes and wanting to take themselves seriously and go far and believe in themselves. And the respects that people gave my grandpa at his funeral, even from like people that were like 60, 70 years old that still remember like specific things that he told them, like really shook me. Because I don't know, like I didn't really know that side of my grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew him just when he was an old head, and he was just like he would just clown me at like family events, like, why are you so skinny, man? Like, what's wrong with you? And so that was like the main side of him that I knew. But when after like even his obituary was just like really enlightening to me, because I was like, man, like it's crazy. Like we have a lot of similarities that I didn't even realize or know about. And to me, it just humbles me and places my heart posture in this space of like gratitude that like the things that my family have instilled in me have just rubbed off naturally. And like I'm just out here moving how I move and not even knowing that like he was moving like that too. And he was a big community guy.
What kind of like what is the main, like the way that he's moving, what is the main trait that you see in yourself that he carried?
Like his care for like people doing better and holding people to a higher standard. Like it's hard for me to like be around people that like don't want to hold themselves accountable or grow or get better. Like to me, like that's a weak-minded mindset. Like I'm trying to challenge myself daily, and if you're not trying to do the same thing, then like I'm gonna at least push you. And I've lost a lot of friends. Well, I wouldn't say I lost a lot of friends. A lot of people have distanced themselves from me because of that. Because you know, like shoot, man, I'm trying to like sharpen iron. You know what I'm saying? I want you to sharpen my iron. Like you can't just be out here a dull blade.
So that kind of goes back to what we were. I don't know if we've like we're going to talk about it now, but when we were talking about like business partners, what you look for in a business partner or someone that you're going to do business with, you know, like if we want to go to that question, you know what I mean? What are some of the things that you look for, like in someone that you're going to do business with?
Man, that's a great question. I would say just like any relationship, alignment in values is really important. And alignment in the vision too. Cause like if y'all don't align in values or vision, it's just gonna be a tug of war the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't move forward when you're spinning in a circle. So
what would be the most conflicting type of person for you to, you know, be like, I got to step out. I'm not working with this person anymore.
If like, I don't know, I wouldn't say I have to work with people that believe in God, but like that's a number one thing for me is people that have faith, people that believe in something that's bigger than just themselves.
That part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like the world doesn't revolve around you. There's, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole world out there.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I would say they got to be motivated. They got to be somebody that is willing to make sacrifices. So if people are too self-centered or like just only think it's about them and like the business is about them, or just like too like capitalistic in a way, because like to me money's great, but like that's not the mission of like why I try to be an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? Like for me it's my freedom, it's my use of time, my ability to impact other people's lives. Like to me that's one of the main reasons why I do what I do. So if people don't really fall in that alignment value wise, I think it's just going to be a conflict no matter what.
Yeah. Dre, I'll say when we started podcasting, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And then we started talking about like, it would just be cool to get people on the pod, like interview other people, spotlight other people. And I got to say, it makes it easier to do a podcast when you feel, when that is what's motivating you.
I mean, I think just our whole overall general business as Bro Media, I think the main thing of like continue what K-Rob is saying is just the value of it ain't about us. I never want to make anything about me. Truth be told, I've always heard people feel like it's indifferent for me, but no, I want this to be something that grows into a bigger impact than me. Even the job I work now, bro, I'm an admission counselor, and I meet with tons of families and students every day, and I'm telling them, like, I get a thrill out of that now, and I ain't never feel like that. And our coaches would have told us that when we played. K-Rob play football, you play football, Lamar. They always tell you, like, something's going to always be bigger than you. It's going to be about the team, or it's going to be impactful. So for me, I see that with you, K-Rob. And another thing that I like is the characteristic of you, bro. The one thing that even in this podcast of our episode right now, I'm so locked in, bro, and it seems so mellow, different than our other ones, because you're a mellow person. So the attraction of your energy, bro, it comes in and builds for a good thing for us, though, because sometimes you're not going to get people that are rowdy or rah, 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 rah. And it's cool to implement the people who you're around, and energy attracts. And so the one thing that I like, bro, that you exemplify is patience. When I sat down with you at the coffee shop the one time, bro, we talked about art and we talked about life and everything, and just the businessman you are and what your craft is. Can you speak about patience, bro? Because just like what Hunter is saying, when we started, we were like, hey, if we make money, we make money, but we're going to grow exponentially, and eventually dollars are going to roll in. You get where I'm going now with the story, and we're going to be happy, but that doesn't make us. So speak why you're so patient at what you do, from Triple Creams to your art to even other business ventures and other opportunities of things that you have, to be like, okay, if I don't get it done today, I'm going to still continue to chop wood, and it's eventually going to add up to something.
Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate that question, bro, because patience is, when they say patience is a virtue, like, they really not lying. Like, whoever came up with that quote is like, they knew what was up. Because I mean, I'll take it back to when I first started painting, to be honest. Like, at that time, I dropped out of college, bro. I didn't have nothing going on. I was just chilling at the crib, painting. But like, to really see an idea come to life when you're painting, like, it's not just like you can crank that out in a day. I mean, it depends what you're doing. Like, super abstract stuff, yeah, you could probably do that in a day. But like, to build layers and layers and layers and layers on something and make it exactly what you had in your mind on a piece of paper, like there's some paintings that have taken me 5 months, where like I'm just chipping away like an hour a day, hour a day, hour a day. And like, next thing I know, I've put in 90 hours over those 5 months. Like, obviously I probably wasn't doing it every single day, but
those paintings be hitting.
I appreciate that, bro.
Like they are
Are they a
always
piece
like,
of chicken parlay, or what are you talking about, bro?
I said they be hitting. I said they be hitting.
Yeah, like that sound like you talking about some food. They dope art. Just say that.
Don't tell me how to talk, bro.
Yo.
Them paintings be hitting, bro. They be like some good ass chicken.
That shit dope. I say that. That shit dope.
Hey, bro, those paintings be hitting, bro. I would, yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. But how that translates into the rest of my life, though, like that was the foundation for me, because I saw the fruits of my labor through that. You know what I mean? It took months and months and sometimes years. Like, sometimes I look at a painting, I'm like, wait, I did that in 2019. I felt like it was just like a year or two ago. What? That's crazy.
But this is free game for people who are younger and who don't think that they can be an artist and make money off of it. And they might just not end up doing it because they don't get there. But that's why this podcast, you know what I mean? It could help somebody like that's younger, that's trying, or anyone who's any age. If you're just trying to make, a business through your art, I mean, this is the free game right here.
Right. Because I mean, like, if you wanna just make quick money with it, like, you can do that too. But to me, you're probably not gonna be creating the things that you genuinely truly want to create. You know what I'm saying? You're probably just like rushing it. You're probably just like half-assing the execution. And you're probably not even really spending a whole lot of like mental energy. Like, there'll be times, I'm not even playing, I will literally stare at one of my paintings for like 30 minutes before I even touch it. I just meditate with it and think about the colors. I think about, okay, how am I gonna push that side to match like that side? You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to meditate with like what you're trying to execute. And that goes for a lot of things. Like, you know, sometimes making the wrong move, like in chess, can set you backwards and like put you in a deficit rather than a beneficial position. And so a lot of people, like, although there's a such thing as analysis paralysis, you don't want to think about it too much. You got to know like how your right foot coordinates with your left. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do drills daily to get your footwork down, so then you can move fluidly and execute quicker. Because then it's like, oh, bet I got to run that route. Okay, they're in that coverage. Bet okay, I'm running it at this speed. I'm cutting it at 12 yards versus 15. Like you just got to know those types of things, but that comes through practice and like meditating on what you're actually trying to execute.
Have you gotten to a routine of that with the clothing line and the art? Like, you know, like kind of going like, okay, I know I gotta like demand, like you talked about earlier. Somebody might need this in about 2-3 weeks. I know I'm gonna have to map out a total of 24 hours with this, but I might need 100 shirts done for an expo in 2 weeks. So you got a routine of how you work with that?
Yeah, it really depends how my week looks, but because for me it's like, okay, that's more to me like time management, which you learn through the years, because you might be like, oh, I could do this in 2 hours, and it ends up taking 4, and you're like, oh man, now the rest of this is getting pushed back. So when it comes to like my creative practices, like making the clothes or painting or just like even making a flyer or something like that, like I know the windows of my day where my energy is like is most suited to be creative, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so that just comes with time of like getting to know oneself, honestly, because like how I might do it might be different than how you would do it or bro would do it, you know. Like I like to wake up at 6 in the morning and just paint sometimes. Sometimes I like to do it at 11 o'clock at night, depending like how my day went. So although I try to take it in like a 2-day increment where I'm planning 2 days at a time versus like a week or a month. I mean, there's certain things like right now I'm getting more into creative management. I started another company a few months ago called Studio 42.
Okay,
And
salute.
thank you, bro. It's a creative ad agency, basically. We're doing like videography, graphics, but also like I want to get into the consulting side as well, where I help a business go from not knowing how they're going to do email marketing, not knowing how they're going to do social media marketing, to building them a foundation of like execution for that matches their brand in their company. Because like, for instance, I'm working with V3 Sports right now to help them with a lot of that stuff. And
shout out Rupp.
Yeah, man, for real. Shout out to that boy Malik. And so what works for a nonprofit will looks way different for the clothing brand. Looks way different for a podcast, and that looks way different for a nail beauty salon versus a tattoo shop. Like every organization has a different means of like how they need to promote their product. And so I'm trying to get more into the side of like building teams and learning how to delegate and kind of be like a quarterback versus the running back, or you know, a defensive end that's constantly got to make plays. So
I think that we should call this title "Patience is a Virtue," because all these things you're talking about takes patience, and like how we said, it plays into your character. It's also funny that you said about talking about being spiritual, because patience is a virtue is from the Bible, is Proverbs. So that's probably why it sticks with you. I don't know why I put my phone up there. I was trying to show you the Proverbs, but it probably came out real blurry.
Man, get that out of here.
Proverbs 14:29. Patience is a virtue from the heart of a shepherd. So that's pretty cool. That sticks with you. back to also when you're like meditating and stuff, that also takes patience. And when you're like looking at a painting and it's for like 30 minutes and then you start painting, is that like a meditation period? Is that like you kind of, or is it just a brainstorming period?
It depends how you want to look at the word meditate, because in Greek, I think it was Greek or either Hebrew back in the day, like before it was translated and mixed and jumbled into English. The word meditate in that original state meant to pounce on something like a lion does their prey. And when a lion like pounces on their prey, like they're not just like gnawing at it right away. Like they usually like hold it down, exert their dominance, and then they like consume it. So like there's this process before like they even start to digest the meat or eat it. They sit with their prey, and like I don't know the exact story. I just learned about this like a week ago, no joke. And so that really like shifted my perspective of what meditate means. Cause like to me, I'm not like a dude that's just sitting here like, oh, like to me, like meditating is like consuming something slowly. Like when I read the Bible or I'm trying to gain any type of knowledge, I try to take my time with it so that I actually indulge what I'm trying to learn. And so when I'm looking at a painting, like I might be thinking about my day, whatever. Like I really just try to like be as present as possible with like what I'm doing and where I am in life, and like, okay, I know I got this going on later. And then all of a sudden, like boom, it'll just hit me like, oh, that's supposed to be red, bro. What am I doing? So yeah, I don't.
Oh, the whole painting's blue. Now I got to make it red.
Have
No,
you
I
ever
really had to
thrown
do
like
that.
have you ever thrown a full project out like that? Just be like, fuck that.
Yeah, I burned a painting. I burned a whole painting before after I spent 40 to 50 hours on it.
Jeez.
Damn.
But that's a whole another story because low key it was kind of possessed. Like it was some
Mm-hmm.
weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Painting and art is a spiritual thing. Like
Oh,
whether
for
people
sure.
want to admit it or not, but like the energy that you put into a painting, it's there on that
Yeah.
painting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Have you
so
ever seen those shows where they say that like, oh, like someone will buy an antique and will bring bad energy into their home, and then like they'll have like, bad energy, like making their life worse? You ever seen that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So is
real stuff.
that what kind of like was going on with your painting? It was just like a bad energy sucked in your energy, made you feel angry.
Y'all got time for a story?
Go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right, I'll be quick about it. But basically, at the time, um, me and my ex had broken up, whatever. But I was still madly like in love, really trying to fight for this relationship to work out.
mm,
Anyways, I started getting signs. This is when I lived in Colorado. I started getting signs to like say things at a certain time or like getting little nudges of like, yo, you should text her. And it would always like end up being something crazy. Like she
mm,
would respond like, I was literally just thinking about you, da da da. Anyways, I get these stickers. She is Native American. I went to this powwow out in Colorado, got these stickers, and like during Thanksgiving, I felt like a nudge to like bring these stickers back home and just drop them off in her mailbox, like just on
hey,
some
bro, you
anonymous.
went to a powwow.
Yeah, it was very
You were
American.
definitely bringing home some energy after that powwow.
Bro, it was so Americanized. Like I left like 30 minutes
Oh,
into it because it was really whack,
oh,
honestly.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But anyways, like um I get to her crib. I'm back in Minnesota. I see this sign like literally on TV, bro. It was the wildest thing. It was like this lady on TV was speaking straight to me. And so I was like, yo, like somebody was talking to me at the time. I didn't hear the word they said. I was like, yo, I gotta go. I have to leave. I gotta go do this. So I went to her crib, dropped off the stickers. And then when I got there, like I felt this nudge to write a letter. And then all out of nowhere, I'm not even playing. I was like, yo, like it felt like somebody was writing through me. And so I was like, yo, your grandma wants you to know that everything's like okay. that she really loved you, da da da. I'm like, bro, why am I even writing this, right?
Yo.
Drop it in her mailbox, bro. Her grandpa passed away a week before that.
Holy
I'm not
shit.
even playing.
Crazy.
So then fast forward, I'm back in Colorado. I'm telling my homie about this story, and my phone blurts out of nowhere while I'm telling the story, like just like this. It randomly goes, "Thank you for trusting in me." My phone. And we
Oh,
both looked at
I
the
got
phone like,
chills.
what? Like, what was that? Like, I ain't never heard my phone ever say anything besides, "What did you say?" I didn't catch that. Or
Yeah.
like,
This
you know what
sounds
I'm
like
saying?
parlay off some shrooms right there, man.
No,
Nah,
no,
we was
no, no,
sober,
no,
bro.
no.
Getting lost
Hey,
in fucking Jersey at a strip club off some shrooms. That's what it sounds like.
nah, bro. He's tapped in with the third eye because there's people, bro. You ever heard of Teresa, Long Island medium? She's like the most famous medium in the world, bro. And bro, like that's probably what it is. You're probably a medium.
I don't know, bro. I didn't
But
really
you
mess with all
probably
that.
shut it down, bro. You probably should be shutting it
So,
down.
so hold on though. I'm gonna get to the painting though, because I made this painting at the time, which led to like me developing this new style that I really rock with. But the painting, I ended up calling it "Trust in Me," and it was basically this woman on this boy's like shoulder, and they both had blind eyes. Like basically, they were blind, but like the woman behind the boy was like guiding him, and like her hair was holding these eyes, so that like it was kind of like, you know, in Hercules where like those blind women, they had like the eyes that they were holding. It was like that. And anyways, I made that painting like literally that same season of life. And anytime, like years later, anytime this new girlfriend of mine was like at my crib, the painting would just start like knocking, and like we would just both like look at it like, what was that? And then the second or third time it happened, I was like, yo, this painting has to go. Like this is possessed or something. It was genuinely some weird shit. So I burned it in front of her because like she even heard it too, and she was getting creeped out. And I was just like,
Crazy.
yo,
That's
I don't know
crazy,
what's
bro.
going on with this, but I did not make this with the right heart posture, the right energy. So I
But
let it
you
go.
brought that energy home from the powwow.
I don't know, bro.
Could
I
have
don't
been.
know.
Light to lighten up a little bit. That's a crazy story though. I do like shit like that because it's like I ain't never thought about that. So now because I've been getting into art more. Just was in Vegas and I seen a lot of good art pieces. So I was gonna say, what is who are your, if you can list, because I know you're a historian of art. So kind of who are your top 3 artists you really like historically? It can be present, it can be past, and it can be past.
I'll go with number 1 is James Jean.
Okay.
He's currently alive, but he's probably had the most influence on me as an artist. Yeah, I would say that for sure. Second is probably Picasso. Um, Third is Rivera Diego.
I've heard of him.
Yep, he was a muralist in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Either him or Frida Kahlo. It's tied between those two, but yeah, that's probably my top 3.
Got you. Any like of them guys though, anything stand out as far as like techniques of art, or like kind of put me a parlay in the headspace of an artist to like, what do you look for like when you're looking at their art, and then kind of comparing it to yours, or trying to something that you might try to take away, because we all know everything's a copycat league, but there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you're going up with great artists. Like you definitely want to be like, dang, I wish I could develop that, or I'm gonna develop that tool or technique that they're using.
Yeah. Oh, I also can't forget the anime Dragon Ball Z. That influenced my art a
Yeah.
lot. I don't know who the artist is behind that, but there they go. Um, I would say line work is huge to me, like cleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I don't know, I really like those sharp edges, like even on like Like, let's say I were to draw an arm, like I would outline the arm so that it's like a standalone in a way. It kind of gives it like an anime vibe in some ways. I really like that, and James Jean does that a lot. Picasso, really admire him because of like his out of the box thinking and the way he depicted an image and just like kind of like bended reality. And then Diego Rivera. Diego Rivera, not Rivera Diego. I had it mixed up. His work is fire because he really told a story through, like, he would just compact so much into one image. It was crazy. Like, you could just explore it for days and like still find new things. And to me, like, I love that aspect of art where it's like you look at something, then the next day you look at it, you're like, how did I not even see that? Like, that was sitting there the whole time. So yeah, I would say those three things are like definitely what I look forward to implement into my art, where I'm always giving some people something new to look at, but also like doing it really clean and telling a story and just using like a lot of color. I don't know, some things I'm moving away from like using a lot of color with, but I like to use like bold, vibrant colors because to me it emulates like this sense of aliveness and love and creativity. So
that is very like okay. So the guy who did Dragon Ball Z is Akira Toriyama, and I see the bright colors in a lot of his stuff.
Hilmar, you kind of look like him.
No, he's Japanese. You think I look Japanese because I'm high right now?
A little bit. Wow, you're stereotyping. That's terrible, bro.
Oh,
we're finna get shamed now. You're
getting canceled, y'all.
Quickly, just because of this dude. We done lost sponsorships and everything, bro. Can we? Hey, K-Rock, can we get any any updates, any goals, any new merch dropping soon, man? Maybe we get some merch on the show. You know, maybe represent something.
Yeah, I see you rocking Sweat Equity. That's what's up.
You know, I mean, shout out to Kool, because Kool-Aid just, you know, he was like, man, whenever I'm like, I had it. I got my other Triple King stuff. I could have wore that today. I'm not home right now, so I ain't got it. But yeah. No stress, anything you got coming up? Far as you want to speak on anything kind of like your goals for the end of the year, kind of.
I just gotta say the most comfortable T-shirts are the Triple Kings T-shirts. I've had mine for a few years now.
Crew necks.
I wear it all the time.
The crew necks is sleep.
Very comfortable.
Appreciate y'all. I'm low key kind of, I wouldn't say I'm moving away from the clothing, but that's not a focus for me right now. It's a lot of work. And so right now I'm mainly focused on, like, honestly, I'm really focused on building up the foundations of my business. And right now I'm really focused on this online art collection that I'm building for Triple Kings. Like, one of the artists we work with, he goes diving in the ocean and takes photographs of ocean life. And so we have a collection with him built right now. I'm about to throw up some of my art on there, but then I want to build a sales team through that so that we can start getting up in apartment buildings, doctors' offices, that kind of stuff to like generate higher revenue streams. Cause like clothing can only, like, unless you're selling like, you know, like all of Midwest or like across the country, it's a really small revenue margin when it comes to clothing. And you put a lot of effort into making all those clothes, unless you're doing like drop shipping or something like that. But for me, I'm a very hands-on person. Like, I printed this myself. I like even sew and do like custom embroidery for a lot of them. I have like a heat press, so we do all our neck tags, like everything. And so it's just a lot of effort for a small profit. So I'm really trying to focus on like how I can build up my revenue streams that require less time and energy, and then using the clothing as more of like a marketing tool rather than a revenue tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that's like that kind of reminds me of like license, like getting a license for your music. You know what I mean? So that like when it's kind of like you kind of have to get hired by like buildings in the community. You got to get hired by like the people who kind of got, more like area to be a billboard for you. You know what I mean? Is there like a union for artists? Like if you guys ever feel like, like it's just, there's something wrong in the artist community. Is there anything like that?
There needs to be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these organizations be taking advantage of artists. It's crazy. One of the other things I want to get into with Triple Kings, and pretty soon, I don't know what Triple Kings is going to be, but there's different facets of what I want the business to do and support. And one of those things is musicians. I have a really dope idea of how I can start helping musicians build passive income through their art, because the streaming services don't do it. They're robbing everybody. And it's crazy. Like even Tory Lanez, as much as people want to like hate on him, like he really cracked the code with that NFT project that he did. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but
can you tell us about that?
Yeah, he dropped one song as an NFT, 1 million copies for $1, right? Bro, all copies sold out within a minute.
And there was only 1 million of them.
Yeah, so he made $1 million in a minute, but it wouldn't cost me nothing. You know what I'm saying? $1. Like, all right, bet. And so artists need to start looking at that model as like, oh, I can actually make my own whatever. And if I even sell 200 hoodies at $50, you're making more money off of your hoodies than you are your music.
Yeah. That's a really smart artistic approach, because there's a limited amount, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just like how there's a limited amount of the paintings you sell. I mean, in your case, there's usually one, but yeah, that is a artistic way to do it. So
but we go back kind of like what K-Rob said, just about being patient. I think the good thing that we love having you on the show for, bro, you educate us to just the mindset of artists, of a businessman. And with that Tory Lanez project, a lot of people don't know that. You're talking about everything you're talking about. We didn't even really directly ask, but you're an entrepreneur, bro. You're doing this full time. So the thing is, it's like nobody is really valuing like what it really does take far as that effort wise, because I think me and Parlay, we even have conversations now, like from year 1 to year 3 now, it's a lot different. And bro, you're doing it in 2 different worlds. Plus you're doing a consulting business now. Then you have other ventures, respectfully. So it's like, I think something is to be said about just being a student of the game and not only just getting education and knowledge, but applying it. That's the main thing. And so to go back to that project, I just want to comment on that, because it's like, yeah, I think a lot of people could research that, Google a lot of stories, but are they going to really use it? Erykah Badu said something one time on a clip I seen on Instagram. I think it was like 80% of the world follow, 10 observe, and then the other 5 apply, or something like that in that realm. So that's real. And I always think about that, because we are sitting in one of those things every day. And for me and him, every day I'm telling them, bro, we might not get to that dollar, but we gotta keep treading forward. We gotta keep chopping wood, bro. And we gotta figure out what we're not doing to get there. And so I say to you, bro, continue doing what you're doing. I kind of wanted you, I know you had some work going on with some restaurants or something where your art was in there displayed, or a building you had. I want you to speak a little bit on that, just because it's like, people always want to see the visual. They want to see everything materialize. And so sometimes if it's not money-wise, what opportunities has Triple Kings been presented to by people in the city? And then kind of where's your art taking you as far as art shows and other things like that outside of what you're producing yourself?
Man, it's just allowed me to build a lot of bridges with people that are either doing art themselves, music, you name it, like business owners, people that own like cafes. So I'm trying to develop a partnership I already do have a small partnership with this cafe in Uptown called Third Space.
Okay.
Right now, Triple Kings curates the space, the art in the space. And right now, Nate Crash, his artwork is hung up in there. So if you guys want to check out his art, he's live and present at Third Space Cafe in Uptown. But pretty soon, I want to start doing artist talks where we get artists and even entrepreneurs, because I consider any entrepreneur an artist. You're trying to build and craft something. You know what I mean? People got to stop looking at artists as this type of stuff and start looking at as every single thing that you see and do is art. Somebody built and designed this computer that I am talking to you guys through. Like, that's crazy. It's a piece of art. You know what I mean? And even like a bottle or a chair, like all of that is somebody's idea coming to life. And so I want to start doing these artist talks where it's like a live presentation, kind of like this, but also displaying their craft or like something of what they do in front of a live audience, and then using that as like a networking event at the same time, so that people can build connections. They might get their next commission off of that. They might make their next real estate move from that. Who knows? But yeah. So I mean, man, that's just one of the businesses I've connected with over the last year. There's a handful of them, and very grateful to have worked with every single one of them. I want to shout out Modern Day Me real quick, because they helped me get that mural behind Fair High School last year, which is just like a huge accomplishment in my life, and has brought me a lot of fruit. So very grateful for that relationship and that connection. And yeah, I just gotta shout out like God and Jesus real quick, because like, man, yeah, like low key, like I don't even know how I'm still alive sometimes. So I'm just grateful day by day that I'm still breathing, still able to do what I do, and able to have conversations like this, man, because like this is what's up, man. I've been looking forward to this all week. And so
we
I'm just
appreciate it, bro. For real.
Yeah, like I'm really grateful for y'all, man. Like I really appreciate what you guys do. I stay tapped in with your guys' content, and like although I'm not really a sports guy, I still be tapping in here and there.
But even now, we trying to change the pillar, bro. I think we trying to change the pillar, and we need more of this. And that's why, so us building connection and network and brotherhood with you, bro, is gonna help us build the next artist to come on here and talk about it. And then they're gonna be able to be like, man, I seen y'all had K-Rob on there. So that's kind of the community we trying to build, man, where we can not just Minneapolis, but parlays out in New York. You know, eventually I might move up out of here and I might build community somewhere else. And so it's like, I want to build community everywhere, bro, because that's how you get to the top. I got to commend and salute, shout out. We just had him on, doggone it. He's going, I'm feeling terrible by doing this. Who do we just have on?
Foodie?
No, from shout out Jay, Foodie, Black Travel Guy, but no, from California. Michael Stein. Yeah. Shout out Michael Stein. He was an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, man. The thing that he was stuck with me was the fact that we did this format organically, and this is how he built his media group, and he has well over 100,000 people, and his business has been made over, he told us, like $2 million. And so, and annual revenue. And he's been doing it for 20 plus years. Plus he was a stand-up comedian, and he was into entertainment, movies, and all of that out there out West. So the idea that we had to do this organically by bringing people in to share their spotlight and have nothing to do with us. We're not looking for no profitable gain. We didn't ask you for no money. You didn't ask us to charge us for this. So it's just free game that we kind of just want to continue to build, bro, and then just see where we go from there.
Yeah, it's all love, man.
Yeah, this is like, I think we just, like I was saying, it makes it easier to do a bit like a media type of company that we're trying to do, just bring out good media, good content. And it makes it easier when we do projects like this, where we do Spotlight, when we're kind of just trying to give light to somebody else. And then also the free game that comes along with it. I mean, yeah, I mean, I definitely think we got to title this Patience is a Virtue, because so many gems in the interview about patience and about how you've actually just naturally lived your life patiently, and the patience has paid off. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool, because like some people just aren't born patient and they don't even have it in their DNA. And to hear it and to see it, it actually can, now you have a visual of how you can be and how you can try to level up in your life and try out different ways to, get better. And sharpen. What did you say? Sharpen your
iron, sharpen iron.
Yeah.
Sharpening your iron. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. Because like, to be honest, we can't do this stuff alone. And like a lot of people hear these rap songs and think they can make it by themselves. Like it's just not the case. Like, and it's more fun when you build with other people. Like that's just how it is.
For sure.
Facts.
Well, K-Rob, man, floor is yours, bro. Shameless plug hour. That's what we like to call the last 5 minutes. Contact everything where we can find you, FM. The floor is yours, my dog.
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys again for having me. If you want to find my art, it's just Google Kasey Robinson visuals. It should pop up, but if not, it's KaseyRobinson-visuals.com. I still got to update my portfolio on there, but you can see majority of my work on that website. And then Triple Kings, TripleKingsMPLS.com. You can find our online art collection. We got some clothing products on there. And then, just like tap in with our newsletter because we be having a lot of events. We're probably going to get into more event hosting and event planning type stuff, whether that's us sponsoring another art event, whatever. So tap in with our newsletter. And then, just be on the lookout for more.
Already, man. Hey, man. Well, we appreciate you, fam. This has been real. I always like these ones that, like I said, man, that I can gain something from, that I ain't really like trying to just feel rushed in, man. And like we said, it's patience and just learning from your story, bro. Like I said, continue the prayers to the family and everything, bro. I know losing your grandpa is hard, and my grieving and things like that, but I know it's made you a better man, and continue to build on that. Continue to let that be what's build you and what you stand on, fam. So, Parlay, you got anything, bro?
No, man. Great interview. Shout out to K-Rob. Shout out to everything he's doing. The video company, Triple Kings, the
shout out to you too. I didn't mean to cut you off, but man, you want to speak a little bit?
Wait, no, my computer's about to die. But
okay, but
check out the album.
Album.
Yeah, check out the album, The Spiritual Growth. Talking to two spiritual guys right here. So, definitely vibe with it. And yeah, man, thank you, K-Rob. Thank you so much.
Yeah, gratitude.
Salute,
Stay
man.
blessed, y'all.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.